What's going on, y'all? We're mocking the first round. Already restarted this video once because I didn't like where things are going. Hopefully we can just run through this and it not be too bad. There's a lot of things that can happen in this draft. There's a lot of talent, a lot of rumors of trades. First pick I think is simple. It's either AJ or DP. I think they go with AJ. I think they like the floor, the scoring next to Trae Young, AD, Alex Sarr, just giving you some more punch, and you just like how high his floor is as just a scorer and a big jumbo wing that you think you can project to just always be able to play next to like Alex Sarr. With two, there's been some rumors now that they may want to go Cameron Boozer. It's been thought of that it's just AJ, Darren Peterson, Cam Boozer at 3, but I think they go Cam Boozer. There's been a lot of rumors now, in Carlos Boozer, you know, being his father, and even Darren Peterson camp or management team not wanting the Keontae George pairing. They both got the same agents, and they feel like that's not really beneficial for them to be on the same roster. And with Walker Kessler wanting out of Utah, not getting the deal he's been wanting done, it feels very comfortable to slide like Jaren to the 5, Laurie to like the 3, and then have like Cam Boozer at the 4, or even Cam at the 3. Whatever you want to do, get some good size there. I think he'll play well off of those guys, and you just kind of start to have like a real foundation of something with how good Keontae George has been. And then at 3, Grizzlies got a pretty easy pick. You either take Cam or DP. I think for their team, they would have preferred Cam Boozer, but you're fine walking away with DP. You can run him and Cedric together. Hopefully one day Darren Peterson can be a point guard. You know, if you move on for Ja Morant, you still got Scottie Pippen Jr. there. Probably end up trading Ty Jerome at some point. You really do want some better wing play. RIP to Brandon Clark. And honestly use another big as well. You're just not getting that this early in the draft. Maybe they do make a trade. I doubt it. Like, I don't know where they could trade down where they feel comfortable losing out on that 3rd pick. Here, everything's pointing to Caleb Wilson. If you wanted to bet on a certain pick in this draft, bet on Caleb Wilson going for. It feels very set in stone. Kind of similar with 5. If they don't trade this pick, I very much think Keaton Wagler just fits nicely next to Kawhi and Darius Garland. Can eventually possibly be your future point guard. There's a world where they trade this pick. Maybe they're able to bring another guy in, but if they don't trade this pick, I think Keaton Wagler is the guy for them. Here at 6, there's been some rumors of Michael Brown Jr. here. It feels like it's either him or Darius Acuff. It does feel like, so Michael Brown Jr. gives you some size after you just drafted 3 point guards. Darius Acuff feels like the better talent. But I think him and Jaeger Demon can play next to each other. It's the other point guards you don't feel great about, but at the end of the day, you kind of just feel like you struck out on those guys regardless. I think you take the talent in Darius Acuff. You don't overthink this. You don't think about fit too much. You just take that talent in Acuff. Now, there's been word that the Kings and Michael Brown Jr. haven't been working together. And he feels like, honestly, a perfect fit for them. But that may scare them from picking him if he's already just like, they haven't been working him out and stuff like that. Kingston Flemings could be their guy here. Or they can make a trade. Their contract situation is just stupid, dude. I think there's a world where they make a trade with OKC. Is this world today? Do I feel like it? It's really a question of, do the Thunder offer them something that they feel like is worth it at 7? They really wanted Acuff. They didn't get Acuff. So yes, I'm going to say the Thunder call them up and the Thunder get in at 7. They get 12 and 17 and maybe a player with it. Don't know who that player would be. Doesn't really matter for this. And now Thunder are picking at 7. At 7, I think they go Braden Burries. I think he can replace Lou Dort pretty easily in the lineup. And he will be someone who can develop. He can play defense already. He's going to come in already able to shoot the ball. I think it just makes sense for either him or Yaxel. But if they trade up, I think Braden Burries is their guy. At 8, this is interesting. I think this will either be Flemings, Michael, or Daymara. The Hawks are in a weird spot because they kind of do need a big, but they also do need a point guard, like a true point guard. They got CJ McCollum for another year, but he's not really the point guard that you want. And he obviously is older. You don't really trust Dyson Daniels to truly be your point guard. You just need someone that can push the tempo, you know, control the ball, and then also score for you. Michael Brown Jr. and Kingston Flemings both fit that. Daymar fits what you need at big. The Hawks have not had any size in a long time. Like, they had Kristaps for a second there, half a season, and they could be looking to replace that like immediately because they just don't have size. Even like Clint Capella was like a 6'10" big. They just have not had big players on their roster. They could be looking to get that in the draft, but they also could get that in the free agency. I would like Michael Brown Jr. here. It makes a lot of sense. I think he plays well off all these guys. But for this, I'm going to say they take a Daymara. They like the size here. They think he'll play nice next to Onyeka and Jalen Johnson. He'll fit in as a passer and a connector. And hopefully, you know, they feel like he could stay on the court and play enough minutes for it to be worth it. At 9 here, obviously they really wanted Braden Burries. Thunder traded up, took him. So that leaves them with like Nate Ament, maybe a Karim Lopez, Yaxel, and just go for the talent in Kingston. Michael Brown Jr. also makes sense on their team. They do need a shooting guard, and he can immediately, I think he'll play great with Kyrie Irving, and again, be someone that in the future could shift, become a point guard for them. They also could trade down and, you know, hold out for a guy like Morez. They did just get Dusty May. There's rumors of them getting Yaxel because, again, their coach is the former Wolverines coach. I'm going to say, though, they were looking for a shooting guard. I think they stick to that, and they take the talent in Michael Brown Jr. At 10, just lost Giannis, just lost Bobby Portis. You're looking for a wing. Got 3 here. I think it's going to really come down to Nate Ament or Karim Lopez, the high ceiling guys. I think it's Nate Ament for them, though, just as someone that can just score, shoot, get buckets. Hope he can get some consistency and some efficiency. At 11, hey, Warriors are foaming at the mouth. They're like, yes, we didn't have to do anything. Yaxel fell right to us. He's just on a great Michigan team. Feel like he can fit right into Steve Kerr's system. Now, 12 here. The Kings are ecstatic because exactly what they wanted to happen happened. They were banking on someone falling. Whether it ended up being Michael Brown here later in the draft or Kingston Flemings, they were banking on someone falling, or maybe they were even comfortable taking LeBaron Philon with one of these picks. They were banking on one of these guys falling. They take the talent with Kingston Flemings. They get up out of there, right? They're happy. They could have took that at 7. Now they got 2 picks. Now here with the Bucks, I think they go with some more for sure talent. I'm gonna be looking for some more big play. I think Miles Turner will be out of there pretty soon. I think they go Hans Steinbach, good offensive big. I think he'll just be a guy that just immediately comes in and is able to give you some production on the offensive side. The defense will be questionable though. So here, the Hornets can kind of go 2 options. They can go for another swing here, similar to like Tajon Salon, or they could get some more depth at that big position. I do like Koa Pete for them. They do also have the 18th pick, so maybe they hold off there. They could take like a big here. They just, Musa Diabate was doing good things for them, and Kalkbrenner's also there. Kristen Ack's a guy, you know, that feels like could be really good and be like the type of big that in the NBA can be really helpful right now, if he can space the floor. Could also do with some guard plays, but you're really looking for size here. I think I think they go with Koa Pete here. Then it's like you might as well get Kareem Lopez. I'm gonna say they go for Lopez here. It was like a swing. You're really projecting with some things, but you just think you have a lot of talent there already. You can play off that talent pretty well. For 15, if they're in this spot, they have some options. They can go like LeBaron Philon for sure. They did just get Nicholas Claxton, so they don't have to look too much at these bigs. Where I think now they might go, though, it's really Cameron Carr. I don't really know where his projection will be as a player. It's been hard to gauge. Like, some people have had him mocked as high as like 12 or 11 with the Warriors, and then as low as like the 20s. I think he'll be a very fun player to put next to Buzelis, Giddey, even Asenge, Caleb Wilson. These guys can all just run the floor, and I think this will be a very fast-paced team, and Cameron Carr will fit right into that. 16, got Darren Peterson here. See LeBaron Philon here. I think they take the talent. They're looking to move on from Ja. Ty Jerome probably won't be there long term. I think you just take the talent in LeBaron Philon here and keep it pushing. Now at 17, they have some things to think about. They got Kingston Flemings at 12. They're probably looking for like a wing now. Maybe that's Morez Johnson for them. But honestly, though, I think they want some size as well. And Sabonis technically doesn't have to go. They may be looking to keep him. And someone that I think you have like Chris Sinek here. But this is the Kings we're talking about. I think they might reach a little bit here and take a Henry Vassar. The stretch, can score the ball, can rebound, just offensively very gifted. I think they do reach here. At 18, I was saying, so they got their wing now. Now they're looking at kind of bigs. Bo Pete's still here. I think he kind of fills what you were getting with like a Kareem Lopez, so I don't think they go that there. Still have like Morez Johnson. He feels like a guy that can immediately come in and have some impact, especially down low. Jaden Quaintance is kind of like swing pick. I feel like Moussa Diabate kind of fills that role in a way. Probably are looking for some better spacing, and that feels like Chris Sinek at this point. I do think they go with him here. And 19, the Raptors. They kind of don't have like real needs, to be honest. Like, they've been drafting really well, and they've just kind of just been taking talent, and I don't see them going away from that. I think they now take one of these guards, and they have the defensive infrastructure to, I think, hide someone like Christian Anderson. Just going to immediately come and be able to shoot and score, play a lot in the pick and roll, but their team will be able to hide his defensive, problems. Spurs, they're in an interesting spot as well. They're probably looking to replace some wing play. They really just didn't have a lot of depth there. They were relying on Harrison Barnes, and he's probably gone. I think if any team, this feels kind of early for Dalen Swain, but I feel like if any team can make Dalen Swain work, it could be them. Yeah, because Kareem Lopez not here for you. Joshua Jefferson would be interesting as well. I don't know if he goes this high though. They might look for him later in the second round. It's hard to project where the Spurs will go in a draft like this, but they also could be looking for a backup big. I don't think they take the swing on someone like a Jaden Quaintance. Poet Pete does just feel like a guy that can immediately be able to play next to Wemby. I think they'll go with him. He's very talented. Just question marks about his jump shot, of course, but pretty much everything else on the court he does well. And I think the Spurs are the type of team that will look at that and say, hey, we can work with that. Pistons. You would like some better guard play, probably. They take Bennett here. Not mad at it. Malik Thomas would be a guy that can play off of Cade and score really well. You got Ibuka. You still got Braylon Mullins here. You still got Braylon Mullins here. He's got some better size than those other guys. There's Evans also here, another guy that can shoot and score. I think I'm leaning towards Isaiah Evans. I think Thomas will be interesting. I think it's a little early. I think you get some movement shooting here. You got Isaiah Evans. They just need some spacing, man. 76ers. They're good at the guards for now. They're probably looking for like another big or really a wing. They could be a team that takes that swing on Jaden Quaidens. It could be that team or Morez Johnson. I think they take Morez Johnson. They get the better talent. Feel a little bit more for sure about that. And they're happy with that. Feeling that he kind of fell a bit and they were able to get some real talent that late in the class. Here, on the Hawks world. But if they're able to still be here, I think now they go with the guard. Now which guard? Bennett Sturts feels like the guy. Doesn't give you a lot of athleticism, but he can score. He can play out the pick and roll. Good playmaker. They're not going to be asking a lot from him off rip. He's older though. Honestly, I think I would like them to go with Ibuka. It's a guy that can attack the basket, you know, get downhill. Yeah, man. I think I'm gonna go with them taking Ibuka here. It's the guy that can score and attack the basket. They would like some better spacing, but it's not like a need for them at that guard position. The Knicks here, coming off championship. Probably looking for another big. And they're now a team that I think will take that swing on a Jaden Quaidens if he's here. I don't see any reason why they wouldn't. You don't feel like you can probably retain Mitchell Robinson. It probably feels like he's out the door. Jaden Quaidens feels like he can come in and immediately play some minutes behind Cat. Just want him to stay healthy. Lakers here. Will they actually pick here? Will they trade this pick eventually? Who knows? The Lakers could use some big play. Actually not too familiar with this guy here. Definitely a big guy though. I don't think they take a Dalen Swain next to like Luka. You got like Malik Thomas who can potentially like replace what you were getting from like Austin Reeves if he ends up leaving. Can kind of play that Malik Monk role. So I'm gonna say they do go with that. He does feel like a guard that can play next to Luka, score, rhythm shooter, play next to Darius Acuff, used to playing off the ball. Doesn't need the ball because he's playing next to Luka, potentially LeBron. Immediately come in there and just start scoring for them. Here, this was like a perfect spot to go get Allen Graves. He can run some backup big potentially. He's a 4, possibly a 3 as well. Got some versatility. Been pretty consistent player, good connecting player. Feels like he'll play nice next to like a Jokic, and then just won't ask much for him as a on-ball scorer. And he won't have to next to Jamal Murray and Jokic. He'll always be off the ball. Celtics. Feels like Jaylen Brown won't be around much longer. I think with some of the bigs off the board, I'm gonna say they convinced themselves with Boba Miller. Yeah, I do like that. They get the size. I think he'll be able to play nicely in that system. Now the Nets got Acuff. They'll just be looking to get some more talent here. Their team, I think, can convince themselves with Joshua Jefferson and the upside there. Gonna be a good defender off rip. He's gonna play make. Just want to get that jump shot down. The 29th pick, the Cavs. They have some options here. Go get some defense. I can convince myself of that. Yeah, I messed up. So Yesufu definitely withdrawed from the draft. So let's just say they take Bennett Sturts there. Yeah, let's just say that. Then here in the Mavericks, they got some pick at the litter. They got their guard. I think here just makes sense. You take the talent in Dalen Swain. He can't shoot, but you believe in everything else he's able to provide on the court. And if he gets that jump shot, you just got a great fucking player at 30. And that wraps up my first round mock. I'm not mad at it. There's definitely these picks in these range I don't feel too confident in. Obviously, like that changes how these picks end up looking, but I'm not mad at it. It's gonna be an exciting draft for sure, because I just think there's so many different directions teams could go in. So yeah, draft's in a couple hours. This is my board. I don't know what you guys think. I don't know ball.